Brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
The holidays are over and people are blowing the dust off of their mouse and keyboard to start playing some Counter-Strike, and we've already seen one map done and dusted between G2 and NaVi. It did go the way of NaVi despite G2 holding an 11-4 lead at one point, and now we're going to be talking about our second map, Train. Now, it does seem at the moment, Yenko, NaVi's map pool consists of 3 high-priority picks, Train being one of them. How much does this addition of Simple kind of throw that away? Is it safe to assume these will still be their 3 best maps?
Yeah, well, as we talked about it briefly in the pre-show, it's going to depend on their how fast can he adjust to their game style on the T side more than anything else, right? What makes NaVi really strong on these maps, like Train, like Overpass, is they're able to get more T rounds than the rest of the teams, which is the harder side, right? So what we've seen from Dust 2 is they've mostly went for simple, plays, grouping up and just, brute forcing their way into a site. That can work on Dust 2, but much more difficult to execute it on Train simply because of how the map works. And when you add to that the fact that, as you said, players came from vacations, it's looking pretty sketchy at the time. So I feel that it's going to be pretty random.
Yeah, like even for me, like Dust 2, I don't think it's as punishing, but Train, if timing's off by a little bit, if the pieces aren't quite right, especially on the T side, you're going to be seeing a bit of a different picture maybe. But again, you'd argue just kind of what we've seen before, it's very hard to judge this type of game because both teams are not on what they normally operate at the level of. The T side coming out from NaVi eventually was perfectly fine, but to get to that point, it was really not very good. So again, you could find it kind of hard to read into it coming into this map. So
I'm going to kind of try and pull from that point, Yenko. Maybe you can shed some light on what exactly NaVi do to find these rounds on T-side Train. I mean, I know a lot of teams do sometimes hit a bit of a brick wall. What would be your advice to teams that are trying to find more T rounds? What is it that NaVi's doing right on their T-side?
They have a really strong default, and they spread around the map. They don't allow the CTs to get any map control, and they punish them for their aggressive pushes. And then they just have really good exit strategies, so to speak, right? When they figure out where the CTs are, the CTs have spent most of their grenades, smokes, and everything. They then make a good decision, and then they have good executes, whether it's an A split through Ivy, ladder, and mid, whether it's a full-on B execute, whether it's a fake. They have good strategies to give them entrance into the bomb site, and after that they have really strong players. Then you have Guardian in a position where he has those long-range battles with the AWP once the bomb is planted. So that's the most difficult thing about NaVi. If you just let them do whatever they want, they're most likely to win the round. That's why SK has had most success against them on their CT side, because they were really aggressive on the CT side. With the double op, they would push Ivy with the op, Fallen would push stairs in the inner bomb site with the op, and you don't let them set up, basically.
The one thing I have to say as well is that you see it seeming out of the ordinary almost. The NaVi's classic style on other maps was to wait till like 40, 30 seconds, then hit the site. It just works so well with Train as a default anyway. You see it just really like amplifying their default style almost, and it just really pays off so well. So again, like I'm hoping we get to see that kind of pulling through actually, and I want to see more creativity on this. You saw a couple of teams yesterday, especially on Train, or not yesterday, but the last Pro League day, try and do that kind of split through CT, on the T side, like working through B and then going all the way back around. Like, I quite like these things, and they're more theorycraft pieces, but NaVi had that before in their arsenal. I'd love to see that coming back out again. But yeah, it's always enjoyable to watch. But G2 aren't any, they're not slouches on this map. It'd be a discredit to them to say that they're not particularly great here. Again, they're perfectly fine on it. I just don't think you can come up to the caliber of NaVi.
I actually had their stats from the Hot Match of the Week article. There is a cheeky plug for you.
It was subtle.
Yeah, I am. It was, so G2 stats on Train, 5 wins, 3 losses. So they played 8 times recently, and then 6-4 for NaVi. So yeah, pretty similar, about 60% each.
Something that you don't have in the article, Alex. That's why you pay me the big bucks.
Hit me.
It's something that I've noticed all the way back at Pro League when G2 was playing Train, was that for some reason they really don't like going to the B bomb side that much. It was, even when they were losing games on their T sides, because they were going outside all the time, they wouldn't switch. They would just be so adamant about going to that outer bomb side, and miraculously, in the end, it actually did work for them. They were able to get the necessary rounds. So whether that was just a trend of the past or it's something that we're going to see again, it's going to be interesting to see because of the vacation, teams so far we've seen them put pressure on the B bomb side, that player who's always usually alone most of the times because, you know, probably not going to get those 3 kills that he would otherwise.
Just completely leaving one of the bomb sites? That's hard to believe. We'll see what NaVi do choose to do, because it does sound like we're almost ready. Do you believe G2 can get us a 1-1, or is it going all the way to NaVi? Lauren, prediction?
NaVi.
Yeah, starting with NaVi. It's Train, it's NaVi.
1-1.
Yeah, oh, okay. Believe in G2.
Why not?
This is how much Janko believes in predictions. It's got to the point where it's like, I just don't care. He thinks, with all of his heart, G2 are going to win this one. And now we're going to head over to 2 boys with heart all themselves. It's Henry G and Stadikist. We love them dearly.
I don't.
Thank you very much, Alex. We love you as well. Now, it is G2 and NaVi. And according to Alex Henry, you know a thing or two about running a train. So, what do you know about this map and these 2 teams? I couldn't even hold the straight face.
Well, one thing I will say is Lauren makes a good point that G2 definitely are very good on this map as well. It's one of their stronger ones, and we've seen him plenty of times. This is another performance map for Smiths, probably his 2nd best map. Hopefully he can step up a little bit stronger on the CT side. That was obviously a huge problem for them on Dust 2. They can hopefully get back into this one. I'd like to see a 1-1. I think that would be a nice way to finish this series off. It's been pretty lackluster so far after that amazing start from G2, only finding 1 single round on the second half. I'd like to see them kind of shake themselves off and get back into it. Looks like we are ready to jump into the pistol round, though. Will be 5 sets of armor. G2 starting on the CT side. So that does suggest something a little bit more aggressive. You can see 3 players going towards Ivy right now as well. Scream towards Popdog by himself. He's going to Smiths and RPK going for these first kills. But like we said, NaVi always so ready for this aggression. They're going to hear the footsteps as well. Smiths in a world of trouble right now. Isn't going to be able to fall back just yet and going for the challenge right now.
Well, it's working out. Flamey takes down Smiths to start it. RPK gets a little bit of aggression out toward Long, but he falls away. Stays in the alley, interestingly enough, on 15 HP. Not necessarily advised. Does manage to pick up Seized in doing so, but leaves himself without much of an escape plan, and therefore goes down. Now, importantly, they've dropped the bomb back toward T-spawn. That means they've got to go recover it, but they can't necessarily, as the CT side, go out and try and hold it off either. So easily grabbed back, but it bought some time in the round, if you will. Indeed.
Well, still a 3-on-3 for now. Shock's very low HP. He'll be just below having their body by himself towards the inside site. Having a look at what's left for NaVi. No grenade, just a decoy. We'll see what the next move is here as Flamey does make his way towards the end of Saadali. Actually pretty separated so far for a terrorist side. They're going to see what Flamey can do here by himself. Has got himself towards backtrack, so if he can get there while his teammates take a bit of a distraction here, this could be very deadly indeed. Let's see whether it works out for them. Scream has no idea what's going on right now. He's just holding the bomb site, but he does spot Flamey. That's the bait and switch we're waiting for.
Well, didn't work out now, did it? For G2, as they've got to sit and try and watch from a distance as the bomb goes down. Body will be the first to fight because Shox is on low HP. He's on 2. Yes, did that kill. That's the one thing he could have done waiting in that position. They weren't expecting it. He does get Edward down in the end, but now they know he's there. Body in this, not able to do much as he comes through Z late. Flamey gonna wrap around, find him. Assassination. And the 2 HP for poor old Shox is just to his detriment because it's now 1-0 for NaVi. Bomb down. Inconsequential, but it definitely secured the round as they had to go aggressive, G2.
Yeah, we saw his equal exchanges to start the round, the aggressive push from G2 towards Ivy. It comes down to the 3-on-3. It's that key play from Flamey, though. You saw him get towards the backtrack area and actually get the distraction as well. He was going to be the snake in the grass at that point, but he gets spotted first, but it still works out to the same effect. His teammates do capitalize as soon as he takes the attention. They take down Scream on the bomb site, and then from that point, not really much Shox could do with 2 HP in that tower. But it's going to be the force buy from G2 going to round number 2. Obviously, Smiths, like we said, this time doesn't force buy like he did on Dust 2, so he will have the option of the AWP regardless on the 3rd round. That was a problem for them before. We'll see how it works out this round as we go into Desert Eagles 5-7s. Rifles across the board for NaVi, not a single SMG, which makes sense on train. A very long-range map if you play it in the sort of style NaVi do. Very slow, methodical, working the picks and slowly getting in this day. They don't go for the rushes here. They're going to try and work the first pick. Edward gets himself into Popdog. Let's get flashed by a teammate, but it's not too bad so far as Guardian has got 2 Ewoks.
He may get to, but how much more can he get from that position? He finds Shox to start it off as RPK back from Ivy is starting to work into Hell, get this pistol a little bit closer as he knows now there's no one coming in from his obligated position, but it is Guardian instead that's wrapped through the bomb site and will find him at the hitch. Just as quickly as that, he'll end the round finding Scream. So G2 go down 2 early on. Everyone stays alive, all 5. So not going for the SMGs, which we often talk about in round number 2, trying to build up some cash, potentially go toward a bonus round. But sticking with all rifles, it's important that all 5 stay alive in that sense, because now they can start to build up the economy. And Flamey, he's certainly done so. 4150 for him, still with an AK in hand. 4 kills, that's why he's got that much money.
Indeed, and it's going to be the full eco here for G2. Just a P250 purchase, that's in the hands of Shock. So this is one of those redundant rounds where now they're just trying to keep all 5 players alive, and G2 options are pretty limited. And that smoke, has that gone all the way into towards inside side? That's really cool. We don't really see that used too often. That's from T-Spawn, and that's all the way and connected and inside. That's pretty tactical, and one we actually saw in Source, especially, that was used all the time. We don't really see it often in CSGO, so it's really cool to see that coming back in.
And the cool thing about it is, no one really plays in that position commonly, so it's hard to read early on, but it does indicate it's usually going to be a B rush. It's designed to cut off the rotations.
People assume that's being thrown from the upper platforms inside, right? So if you can throw it from T-Spawn just before you do an outside execution, that's a really sick way to do it. So watch out for that, and we'll see. I'm sure they'll use that most of their defaults. If you use that every single round, it's very difficult for them to read exactly what you're doing. But we go into round number 4 now. Obviously, like I said, there wasn't really much point commentating that last round. It was going to be redundant. It will be NaVi picking up the 3-0 here. We go to that first gun round. And actually, I've got the double AWP set up here. It's a bit of a high-risk one. Shock's glass cannon. But on training, it's not such a huge deal. Like I said, it's a massively long-range map. It's very difficult for the names to actually get near you, or for AKs to have to full body spray down. They're going to have to head for headshots. We're going to try and take you down. And it looks like a faster round potentially for NaVi. They do throw a lot of grenades towards outside. Screams up close with the M4. Coming towards main entrance here, but Guardian is going to be smoked out from PopDog there. So it's another slow default coming in from NaVi. It looked like they were setting up something fast, but they have got control of the upper platforms now in towards inside. That'll be Simple. He's still got a little in hand. Oh, no, he doesn't. It's seized. He's got an AK-47. My mistake.
Yeah,
what a big mistake it was.
I'll let it go.
We'll call that one strike. I can 3 and I'm done.
Making mistakes.
Yeah.
Smith's unable to hit the shot top ticket booth. Immediately after Flamey goes in and gets missed, he runs back away to the safety of his teammates out at long. Didn't grab the bomb on the way though, though, did you, Flamey? Is that, okay, when I saw him jump awkwardly, I thought, is that unrecoverable under that box? Like, is this a new spot? But RPK, aggressive, unfortunately overextends slightly to get the second kill as Seized was there, spotted his shoulder. Shocks, meanwhile, though, did get him back, and it brings it to a man advantage for G2 as we hit the 40-second mark. And we know NaVi likes to play long games in terms of baiting out time and utility from the CT, and therefore executing late. But this time, down a man. How do they try and do so? Well, it's with Simple over on the B side, already in upper, trying to find a pick, and he distracts long enough that Edward can lurk in. Well done, 1-2 punch in the teamwork of NaVi, and Body gets isolated. Simple finds that kill. B, easily the destination target at this point in time. But is the ladder rotation going to be timely from Scream? He's gotten up here. Does he hear the bomb coming through? He spots it late. Shot comes in, and now they know he's there. Molotov out, and Simple's able to cover that off as well.
Yeah, it's a really nice play from Simple. He gets towards inside, but that's the play from Edward especially. Him getting towards connector, undetected of course, just completely sabotages Duran. G2 had no idea what was going on as well. Very nice play for him to even get in that position. Simple, of course, after that bait comes in, he's got free roam in that inside side. Knows the CTs will be panicking. This hits every single shot. Scream though, that opportunity coming in from the back, undetected. He fires his bullet, doesn't land the shot. Molotov lands at his feet, and Simple just rips his head off. And it's going to be another eco here for G2. The CT side today really has not got rolling. One round so far, after 2 halves. Pretty lackluster on Dust 2, but number 5 here. It's going to be 5-7s and Deagles. RPK and Shocks with some body armor. Once again, now they don't need to work too hard for this round. Full default, you can see on the mini-map right now. Spread across the map, watching for any aggression, as Yanko was pointing out. Got Flamey main connector, sees what's an Ivy. 2 players towards PopDog. And there's going to be holding up and just bleeding out any CTs for any potential smokes and Molotovs they may have, or if they're going to go for an aggressive push and try and get that first pick.
Simple and Guardian. That's toward upper. Guardian. AWP clears out whichever angles he can from that position, but Body down below will not be spotted. He's called over the rotation as well now from Scream. He's also got inside of that side Shock, so the pistol's getting heavy on this B presence, also below the ladder. Smiths, he'll be able to cover off rotations quickly and also in turn try and flank them out, so they can try and pincer them slightly with this pistol setup right now on the G2 side. Smith spotted, forced back. That's one task achieved by NaVi. They don't necessarily have to kill him just yet, but get the map control, push him back toward the site, and then they can pinch him in, and that's exactly what happens is Edward's going to find the kill. RPK on top of the bomb tree, but needs to get a little bit tighter inside of the site because he's exposed and dearly takes down some seized, but shot comes back to favor Na'Vi in the end as Guardian will get shocks, and just like that, it's a 5 versus 2. Scream desperate at the end. I liked it. He tried to line it up inside the smoke, but then just gave it all up and spammed.
5 on 2. Bomb will be exploiting this round. You can see Body and Scream just looking for some exits here, but I don't think they'll get much for it. C's has gone down to 9 HP, but this is a 5-0 start for Na'Vi on the T side. Fantastic stuff from them, looking very comfortable indeed. Money will start to balance out for GT going to the next round. They get $3,400. They're all sat at about the 2.2 mark right now, so that means they can have the double off if they want to. We'll see if that comes in. They have been rolling that with Smiths and Shocks, but obviously didn't work out for them after those great clutch moments from Na'Vi. Even with the man disadvantage of finding rounds there. So next one's going to be important for GT. Really need to start making their mark here on the first half. Na'Vi looking to close things out though. Flamey gets a kill on towards Body. No weapons obtained by the CTs whatsoever. So here we go. Like I said, double orb setup definitely a possibility, and it does come into fruition. It's going to be Body picking it up, but he throws it over to Shocks. And this time he has got some armor. He said, if you're a new viewer, you don't really need the head armor on the CT side, especially if you know you're going against AKs. It doesn't really make a difference if you have body armor or head armor. So one-shot kill regardless. I guess the only danger is if they pull the pistol out. And you're all vulnerable.
Then it's, But at that point in time.
Yeah, it's coming down to that moment anyway.
You should have had him get too, yeah. Scream, you gotta throw the Molotov toward A main. Flash as well, looks to get aggressive, get information early, and that's probably wise and well suited because they're heading toward the inner sight, but it's simple that just wide peaks and destroys Shocks.
That shot is definitely difficult for the CTs, but shouldn't be that easy for Simple just to come out to upper platform. There's no real tactic being played. He's just faced towards upper, got 2 kills now, and what can you really do here as a CT? You've got no kits, you've got limited utility, you desperately need a round, but looks like they will be saving here. Smith's is edging his way towards Ivy, hoping this is clear. He doesn't look too confident about it, as they are just going to be saving their weapons once again. That's Simple, opening it up by himself. And like I said, Shocks, it definitely is a tricky angle there. If you miss that first shot, the orb, you're just done for. It's difficult to fall back, and Simple comes down, blasts his head off. Keeps going aggressive, gets a second kill as well. It's Body to drop, and Body's been having a difficult time in the CT half for sure. Inside, bomb site falls apart here. It's going to be 6-0, Matthew. What can you say about this one?
Well, the interesting thing is that since the first half of Dust, when it was 11,
see his gun.
Yep, but not enough of a target to fire at, unfortunately. But since the Dust matchup, in the last, how many rounds would it have been? I gotta do math here, that's hard. 12 and then now 6, so in the last 18 rounds they've won 1, G2.
Yeah, it's been a rough day in the office for the counter-terrorists. Well then, they do force into this one. They did save 3 weapons, so there's enough to actually get the rifles out of course. So 4 on 4s, all up on Smiths, not the double up setup this time, but to be fair, it hasn't really been working out for them. Maybe some crossfires with rifles will be more beneficial. Once again though, Guardian getting that upper platform control. Once you get this though, your top players do have the chance to just lurk and be a nuisance towards that inside side. Screamy trying to make something happen this time. Gets flashing towards main entrance, but he's aware of it. He did hear that coming. So throws Molotovs just to delay that. And Shocks this time won't have the orb, but if he faces again and dies in a similar fashion, it's going to be pretty hard to watch, but more defensive angle this time.
Yeah, that's just the angle that you play to cover off that. I mean, the wide peak, if you can't get the straight linear shot. Everyone knows the crosshair placement on it too. That's the thing. If you're playing on the ladder, you know where to line up your crosshair, go for the immediate strafe and tap. So this is the counter to it. Shocks, Edward was looking in this direction, but he's actually playing it in a way that forces them to commit before the peak, jumps to get the information. Late for the Molotov, he's expecting the drop to come in. That means Body has to watch the lower position from far.
NaVi missed the smoke on the upper platform there, so they had to delay themselves a little bit, but they do recover. And are going to be pushing towards inside here. It's up to Shocks now. He's got a nice little lineup here. Does get 1 and does a ton of damage to the second as well. That's Flamey to drop first. You can see how low Edward is, just dodging the bullets there. And the inside side, bomb not planted just yet. And it does make its way to the side. Guardian, though, so good in this position. Does take down Body. Shocks, though, still doing work from the upper platform.
Just stays alive long enough this time. Doesn't get taken out on that defensive angle, and it brings him into the fold late. Another kill for him. As Simple goes down. Bomb planted. Guardian, 1 versus 4. No Molotov to play the high ground, but he does have his trusted AWP. Nearly hits both RPKs out of sight, but Scream's certainly there. He's got the lineup. Flash comes through, so he can't get toward the diffuser. That's the key. Literally saves the round on that flashbang, because Guardian was lining them up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. When he hit that second shot, I thought, okay, now we've got a real situation on our hands. 1 versus 4, going down to 2-on-1, and that flashbang definitely is a difference maker.
And imagine he hit the shot on RPK, the second peak, then there's no flashbang, then he's got it.
That's true. That was very close indeed, a bit too close for my liking. We'll see the money on G2 as they reinvest in this round. They'll definitely be eco. Still not out of the woods just yet. They might find their first round of the half, but if they lose this one, it's going to be the full reset. And his Guardian facing towards main entrance. Does actually hit the shot on towards Smith. Just gets him through the wall, though. It's only going to take him down to 54, so not a full tag there, but still, it definitely hurts. And you can see the scoreboard right now. Smith's and Body actually yet to frag at this point. After 7 rounds, and we said Smith was one of the big performers on this map, and it's been pretty quiet for him on the CT side, I have to say. As it looks like another inside approach coming in from NaVi here. All 5 players coming to this side of the map. This could be a smoke down towards the round. Smoke up has used the power in numbers here as they send the AWP in the form of Guardian towards the upper platform. But I think Shock's learned his lesson. He's still playing that defensive angle. Get 1 kill, fall back, and have okay. See ya.
Get wrecked. Bye-bye. Body. Try and play from the sidewalk. Interesting smoke out. Flamey's not going to push through it. He's watching for rotations, but Body elects not to try and catch them off by wrapping around and taking advantage of it. Instead, he'll go down to Edward. Traded surely by RPK, but still they are in a 4 versus 2, or rather a 2 versus 4 on the retake, if you want to look at it from their perspective. And RPK, he'll at least be gifted the kill on Guardian, who walks back to the flames, and the taps continue. He'll find Simple. Screams got seized. A 2 versus 4 turned into a 2 versus 1, and it's Flamey to bring it back down. Dead keel. As the bomb continues to tick, though, 51 seconds in Scream. No kit, has to try and play this quite quickly. Walks out, remember, reset potential firmly in for G2. So Scream's going to save that, and I think go for the AWP. He's got time to do so.
It's a 4-on-2, right? And I feel like NaVi getting a bit cocky there in that situation. Didn't need to face. Everyone's standing in the open, trying to finish it off as quickly as possible. But you've got players like RPK and Scream there. RPK, the absolute hero of that round. They desperately need in terms of the economy. He finds 3 kills. And like I said, I don't think NaVi had to face at all. They could make sure he committed fully to the bomb site before they even faced that. They still had utility left over as well.
And to speak of economy the other way, sure, NaVi, they gave away this time, but you go back to the other round, it's another 1-on-1. It was a 4 versus 1, and Guardian got 3 before the reset. So the money's still tight on this G2 side, but thankfully 2 in a row that can start to chip into NaVi's situation.
It was a much-needed round, and that was a good time for them to step up as well. I feel like NaVi will be a bit disappointed with that one, but they will be focusing towards Ivy this time. 3 players going towards this part of the map. We have got someone in towards our server area as well, with Shocks rotating over for the crossfire.
They need a bait and switch. Yeah, that never works. Shocks does come there late, gets 1 kill only, and goes for the repeat. Can't do it. They needed something to pull the aggro away from RPK in that situation.
Yeah, he just Shocks a little bit too late there. Does get 1 in return, but the reface does get taken out. Another 4-on-2. G2 did this before. This time it's up to Body and Smiths, the 2 weakest performers. Both these players yet to frag in this situation. Finally it comes in. There it is. The AWP shot from Smiths finds his first kill of the half. In round number 9, 3-on-2 though. Still a lot of work to do here. It looks like NaVi will be edging their way back towards the inner site. And the problem is, G2 have no players there whatsoever. They know the AWP's outside as well. That's NaVi, so they can actually probably get in here undetected. Smith's coming in behind, but he's going to be coming behind with the AWP. So at this point, he's got to use his close range USP and hope for the best. He doesn't run into anyone, but that helps. Edward low HP right in front of him. Now he probably could upgrade to an AK-47 he wanted to, but sticking with the AWP for now.
Sticking with the AWP. Okay, good. Switching back over. We'll see if he's going to stick with the AWP and not even elect to use it and keep his pistol. There's no point. And he goes in, and Guardian finds him regardless. Flamey will take down Body, and it does go another round to NaVi. 7-2 now in their favor. And as I mentioned, the money, the double 1-on-1 situation still wasn't great. So G2, they get reset now regardless.
Indeed. $1,400 come in. The rounds have been very tight. Lots of clutch situations, 1-on-2s and 3-on-2s, for example, and keeping 1 or 2 players alive is just not going to be enough. And Body's still yet to frag, as our lovely observer just pointed out, and it's going to be a full eco here for G2 pretty much. You can see Scream, for some reason, has gone for head armor instead of just the body armor, but still, each to their own. It's only a $350 difference, but aggressive play from Smiths as he pushes in towards the entrance. Could find a kill here, but Flamey, he's ready for him. Takes him down. And it's going to be the 5-on-4, and like we said, NaVi's so good at holding off these aggressive pushes at the start of the round. You've got to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch them out in those situations. This time, NaVi do prevail. Options now very limited, I have to say, for G2. No nades, no kits, just some pistols and armor. And Scream still looking for more, though. Full flashbang comes in, though. It's going to be Flamey picking up 1, looking for the second as well. Can't find it as RPK takes him down. And he has managed to get an AK as well here, so he could be a little bit dangerous. Fortunately, not this time.
Edward sneaking into the site once more. We saw him lurk this position last time. Problem is this time he can't land the shot fast enough, and therefore 2 players peek against him. It's an AK-47 down to potentially grab, but as I say that, look at NaVi's positioning. Don't you dare touch the AK-47.
Is that what they're thinking?
In that exact voice.
Yep. Well, it's another eco for G2 here. Only $1,900 this round, so that's why they're going for a little of a partial buy last time. And we'll have a look at what they could do here. It's going to be, what, same again? Pistols? Not even an investment here, just 1 P250, 4 USPs. An almost guaranteed round for NaVi and some Absolutely. Okay, there's a few more. So 2 PT50s and a 5-7. So still doesn't really boost their chances that much. Body has now got Deagle as well. Round number 11, and still pretty shocking for G2 so far on the CT sides. And Guardian, he seems like he's in really good form right now. Just hitting absolutely everything. This is getting to God Guardian again. He had a very quiet couple of months. Not even quiet, not even bad. It's just like he wasn't on that godlike level we're used to sometimes from him. We've been spoiled with.
Body pushing.
He spotted him, surely.
Yeah, I think he did.
No, he didn't.
Oh, well, he will. Doesn't matter if he did or didn't. He certainly does.
Yep.
As he's got an AK-47 picked up now. But round 11. And he's still not amazing. What's he going to do with the AK-47? Smith's getting the kill on Edward. Might encourage them, though. Try and make more of this. Bomb's still not planted. Minute 5 to work with. It's going toward Ivy right now. But while it goes toward Ivy, C's just going to try and push in from A main. Watch Scream, who sits at Hell. And another gift. Another backhead to shoot at. Guardian goes low on HP, but the timing of the pickup of the AK from Scream makes this all too awkward because now he's got 2 players to fight against. If he had almost kept the pistol, you never would in that situation. It would have worked for him, but now he's isolated it and dropped the bomb in doing so. However, it's Seized versus Body.
1 versus 1, and Body has got the AK-47. An opportunity to take him down in the back there. Sees, runs into his crosshair, and around it seemed like there was no chance whatsoever for GT to pick it up. Somehow it works out for them. I have to say that NaVi, a lot of situations there's no refrag potential at all. Like I said, in that round they dropped originally the 4-on-2. Getting a little bit cocky in these situations. Instead of grouping up together and just making sure every sort of risk was eradicated, they're actually just walking to certain choke points without really checking all the angles and getting taken down by the PT50s. And they didn't really have to do that. There's lots of time available because it's grouped up, but didn't really see it in that fashion. It's going to be GT recovering now in terms of the economic game and getting the double orb set up again. They have got utility and kits this time, so looking a bit stronger here. Money is okay, but once again, if they were to lose this one, it's another reset, potentially another double eco. So still a lot of work to do here. NaVi have won the half. It's currently 8-3 as we enter round number 12.
Scream's trying to wait with gun barrel in the wall, flash through.
It's just to point out as well, we haven't seen many of those set pieces ready from NaVi. There's been a lot of defaults and just getting the pick and capitalizing and sticking together. Great play from Scream there. Just negating from main entrance and spotting Pop Dog. Just nails a shot on towards Edward's head. Scream's aim seems to be in as good a form as ever. And we said he would be benefiting from the recent update, where taps are more viable now, as opposed to spraying. So very interesting to see what kind of career he has now since there's been buffed, I guess.
Takes the windows out of the control room as well. Which may, if they spot that, if they're observant enough to even consider the peripheral, surely they are, NaVi.
I guess it's just one of those things where they don't hear where you're shooting from straight away, and it means your headshot doesn't get
exactly. That's
damage
why
taken
he
away
does
from
it.
it.
But the counterpoint I was going to make is it's almost one of those things you could theoretically do every round, because if they see the windows are, they might consider that he's there. Although Flamey doesn't have his crosshair in that position just yet. But you're dead right. That's why he does it. He doesn't want the first bullet to be deterred. We already know the first bullet on the M4 isn't a headshot kill anyway. So 3 instead of 2 is not really required now, and certainly not desirable in that situation.
Well, it's a 5-on-2 for now. Flamey and C's last players remaining 10 seconds as well, so they'll just be trying to stay alive at this point. And money for them, it should be depleting by now. It's actually it's reasonable. If these 2 players stay alive, definitely got room to drop it. They'll have another buy in the tank for sure, but both players do need to survive this. It looks like they will
lots of money. They've 10K almost at the start of the round, so even with the buy,
so these guys can drop a couple of weapons over, and yeah, it should be a nice, healthy buy going forward. But that was perfect. 8-4 though, G2 do manage to string a couple of rounds together here, finally. Still running the double orb setup. It's going to be Smiths and Shocks with those weapons.
Well, Guardian on his AWP will go against 2 of that on G2. It's going to be Smiths and Shocks. Scream A1, Body AK-47 pulled over. Double silenced M4 if you include RPKs. Might as well not exclude him in this public service announcement as Guardian gets across the Ivy position. RPK still holding the angle for when they walk in. No one in support position just yet. Scream's the closest, but he's way down now. Just getting back to hell. He's way down toward A main, so easy kill to pick up. No trade required. Smokes off on both sides, and instantly they wrap around with Flamey going towards CT. Shocks, he didn't spot him yet because he scoped in, and he'd already made it over to the wall, so missed opportunity. But Smiths, a great fast peek, instantly takes down Flamey, and they bring this back. And not only that, Ceased has been tagged down to 6, so they've slowed it. And as they go back toward their own smokes, there's still one on the right. That allows Guardian the straight shot and lineup, but It's 2 players wrapping around, and Shox gets the trade.
It is tag team combo, 2 orbs together, nice and close trade as well. Seems to be working out, but so all of that's going on. The plant towards inside has come in. Body hasn't had a great day in the office so far. Does get taken down by Simple once again. Now it is the 3-on-2, but NaVi have thrown all these situations away. We'll see whether they can actually hold on to this. As Scream does rotate out of connector. Shox coming in with the 5-7 as well. He's got the AWP on his back. Should be able to get Simple here. He has no idea it's coming in. There it is. 1 bullet, that's all it'll take. And now it's an interesting situation. There is a Molotov available, though, for the terrorist, but a smoke has gone on the bomb. That's a 40.
On it. NaVi. Oh, Edward. He needs to find it. He can see his backpack. Does he get it in time? Yes, he does. That was closer than it potentially could have been. Good realization that, wait a minute.
Yeah, adjusted it. You got a lot of pressure there. You got 5 seconds to work with. First 3 seconds didn't work out from this tapping on the back, just about like he said. And it's going to be 9-4 here. The money for G2 not in a great place. You can see UMP are famous. AWP still in the hands of Shox, but yeah, this is one of the rounds that will get NaVi to double figures and potentially set up round number 15 for GT to be an absolute disaster. RPK aggressive once again towards Ivy. Has been a bit of a problem with the synergy of his teammates when he's doing this. No one facing at the same time with him. It's going to be Molotov up for now. So this is going to be trying to use those flames as cover. Difficult to spot him there, and oh, fortunately this time has not worked out at all.
No.
Okay.
They both go down on a lineup. Guardian's able to shoot over his teammate. Flamey's going to get Scream.
Simple towards inside. He was trying to sneak in there, but Body's ready for him. And he takes him down. So they at least know where Body is right now. They just need to work out where is Shox lying. He's going to be able to backtrack. Track number 5. We'll see whether this works out for G2. It's a big round for them, like I said before. Need to see if they can do anything with this 4-on-2 situation. And Shox probably giving his position away at this point. There's decent flash though. Nails the shot, takes down Guardian. Great awareness from him, and lucky for the second. That could have been the one that actually gave him an opportunity to win this round. Now will be a 3 versus 1. And it's going to be Shoxy. A bit all to play for. He has got the kit, but this is one of the hardest bomb sites in the entire game to retake, especially when you have the numbers against you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the hard thing, and he's doing it with an AWP as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's even harder. Keep moving that backside on the ladder. Stay there. Whoa! Nearly gets a lineup as they jump down in front of them. Hello. Flamey says goodbye.
He definitely does. And like I said, that was a big round for G2, just in terms of the cash going to round number 15. It's double figures for NaVi on the T side of train. This is pretty horrible scenes for G2. Great for NaVi, considering their comeback in Dust 2, the first debut game ever with Simple. And some good results so far. Simple, he seems to be playing the heavy lurk role right now. He's only got 7 kills, but he's like the distraction toward the inside bomb site. He's going in, trying to find a kill or 2. If he can't, he keeps CT towards that inside area. He's doing his role effectively. They're winning rounds. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how many kills you get. As long as your team winning rounds, that's absolutely fine. First kill comes in. It's going to be Edward take on RPK. Smith does chime in, but Edward just lighting them up right now. 3-on-2. Scream's gone down to 5 HP. And yeah, difficult to see that for Shox. He does come out of the woodwork.
Same scoreline we had in the first game, 11-4. NaVi this time with the 11 and G2 with the 4. However, if we follow trends, maybe they can have their turn for a comeback.
Maybe.
You're skeptical.
They're going on to the terrorist half now, so good on Dust 2. So maybe they just get the pistol, get the momentum going.
Possible. However, I mean, it's a tall order. They've been quiet, I think, in a lot of aspects. We'll take a break, see if they can wake up. See what I did? Same thing I said to NaVi. 11-4. G2 not necessarily on form since the first half. They've really only played one half of Counter-Strike of 3 that we've seen so far. They've got to pick it up, or NaVi will go 2-0 in the start of the year.
Indeed. What a great start that would be with their new addition. That would be fantastic. And it looks like they're in a great position to actually make that a realization as well. It's going to be NaVi now on the favoured side, you have to say, going on to the CTs. But still, there is potential for GTDs. Top teams are never really seems to be a clean-cut affair when you get these kind of scorelines. We'll see what happens here. And it's going to be swapping over. I'll be interested to see what with the AWP lies, whether it'll still be the C's Guardian combo. I haven't seen Simple pick it up yet.
I have a feeling that's probably going to stay that way, at least for a little while.
For a while.
Again, they're still trying to implement him into this roster. I mentioned the respect thing. He's totally willing to play their game. And I think they also want to, probably, if I were them, I would want to vet him early on. I would want to test him. Let's see how long, you know, let you play the support for a bit. Let's see if you can play your role. Oh, okay, you're playing a role. All right, now you can pick up the gun. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
These things take time, definitely. They've had a couple of days now since they got back, and they wanted to make sure they're playing the old strat book and keep things how they were, and then kind of fiddle with the recipe once they get a bit more comfortable, I guess, once they establish what's working, what's not working so well, and then we'll see whether what's going to be the first tournament for them coming up. I'm sure they've been booked for a few things, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's when seeing these guys on LAN, I think that's when they're coming to their own. Simple, definitely a big LAN player. That's what he's just step in quite nicely, I think.
Yeah, I mean, can't take away from the highlights he provided us with on his time at Liquid over the last 2 majors. And in that case, he was obviously given the freedom to do so. And a lot of that has to do with exactly that. If NaVi doesn't give him that freedom, we may not see the same form, but we know he possesses the individual skill.
Well, then we are getting to the second half, ladies and gentlemen. NaVi versus G2 on their second map of this evening. It is 11-4. A huge advantage for NaVi. If they were to pick up the pistol, it's almost hard to think that G2 can come back from it. Let's see what they can do here. It's going to be a fast inside rush, though. I say this is normally favored by the terrorist team. It goes straight in, a headshot as well towards C. So Smith's going in aggressively, but Flamey does pick up the first kill.
Does indeed. Either way, RPK gets Flamey back. Smith, he's already wrapped in the bomb site, but he walks into a trap. 3 players from NaVi staring him down, and immediately they get the kill. Shox with this flash ready to go through the smoke, and it's going to be the Glock he goes with. However, he's already bypassed one NaVi player. He'll relay the information based on sound. The audible noise, although he doesn't do it fast enough. Guardian, what were you listening to?
What was going on there? That was crazy. But still a 3-on-1 in favor of NaVi. Just up the scream now. Has got full HP and armor, but he's got an absolute mountain to climb. And the full defuse has come in already, and C's has got the kit, so not really much he can do about this. Unfortunately, gets the kill on towards Guardian. And now just trying to finish things off with style. Does get 2 kills eventually, but still, NaVi do win the much-needed pistol here. So G2, we saw them force buy on the second round before. No, that was NaVi, my mistake. That's when they lost the pistol.
Yeah.
But still, that is an option here for G2. They could go for upgraded pistol. It's actually Scream, who obviously got most of the kills there. He goes for a deagle and body armor. Still at about 2k, so that's fine. And I'm sure he planted the bomb as well, which is an extra $300. So it's up to him to try and make something happen. They're bringing out the AKs on the third. Which I'd say is the safer option if you want to try and get rounds on the board, but it should be a clean-cut affair. Scream has gone down to 28 HP. He's the only player really invested into this round. Maybe just firing off some shots towards main entrance, and Edward does spot a player coming out as well. Good grenade damage from Simple as he takes down Scream, but there's the first kill for G2. Something to work with now.
Another kill for Flamey, though, is going to take that back. Work. Not necessarily what they're going to achieve as Flamey takes down Body immediately after a tag and a kill onto his teammate Edward, but it's 13 rounds now for NaVi. As 11-4, they were able to pick up 2 pistols in this game and potentially convert this quickly. We could have a series done. 1 of 3 series tonight. We got a Danish derby coming up next.
We do. That's going to be a good one. X versus Astralis. That's going to be a hell of a game for sure. And then we've got FaZe versus Envious. That's right. Good memory.
Thank you.
To finish it off. Yeah, some good games tonight.
That's because I've tried this new drink that helps my memory called water.
More Mountain Dew?
Nah, well, Mountain Dew sometimes, but it's a change up from the typical tequila. A Simple takes down Body, double kill for him into Smith, but Scream comes back with 2 of his own and Shox. He'll complement that with a double of himself. How do I say this, Henry? I'm getting all tied up in my words because the flurry of frags are coming in too quickly for me to keep up with, although it's RPK to close it. And we'll go 5 rounds now for G2.
Well, those 2 kills proved to be very valuable for G2 in the previous round. They actually took a couple of rifles out of the hands of NaVi. They come back into this first gun round with MP9s and UMPs and then 3 M4s as well. But it's going to be G2, a nice fast outside strategy. A couple of smokes as they're running and as fast bossing their way out to the outside bomb zone. Shox and Screams lighting them up. Going to round number 4 here. CTs will be on an eco, but it still is 13-5. Don't need to force these situations. Just bide their time. There's no need to throw away economy for absolutely no reason. So just some PT-50s. A couple of HE grenades as well. They could be quite deadly. If they know the bomb goes towards the inside, for example, and get a nice little airstrike going on there, could deny the plant. Who knows? As it is round number 4, but you can see G2 much more passive this time. It's going to be holding up towards T-spawn, working towards the upper platforms inside as well, but it's going to be Shox. He is going to show himself as he flashes in towards inside. It's a decent flash as Guardian takes it to the face. Luckily for him, Shox does not commit.
Indeed, as it was the right lineup for it. Guardian, knowing that the flash bang was thrown from a close left click, he's going to go chasing. Or the right click. I get my back and right. Which one's the owl make? That's Guardian. He's timed this. He did exactly that. He knew that the flash came through and they were gone. He had to be hot on the heels. He gets the kill. And he's going to switch over to the AK, but he can't convert it. His Scream picks up, he's both seized, and snaps back to take the attention away from Guardian and the life as well. And it's now another round for G2. So 2 in a row. All right, we're not done just yet. 13 rounds. It's definitely a pressure point. They're close to the finish line, but G2 are starting to get the momentum rolling.
Well, here comes Guardian, though. He has got the AWP in hand, but you can see it is a weakened NaVi. The bomb was to go down. They still don't have a kit, and Siege with no armor and an M4. There's definitely an opportunity here for G2 to capitalize, but they haven't got the AWP themselves. It'll be 5 AKs. So I'd assume more of a set-piece orientation coming into this one. The picks aren't as accessible for them, considering they don't have the AWP. It's going to be a fast play. Is this... Okay, well, RPK is going to lower ramp there. He's actually pushing through the CT smoke initially to get some idea as to what's going on. No aggressive pushes from the CTs as of yet. It's actually going to be 2 rifles towards in, and that's Flamey and Seized. And all 5 players for G2 now on the upper platform area. This will be, like I said, this is more... When you have 5 AKs, you're relying on the smokes to actually give you some risk factor going in your favor to take out the AWP in certain situations. Lots of Molotov dropped as well.
Double Molotov set. Flamey doesn't really have much movement mechanic to work with in terms of ground. Does get the shot into body still as he walks down the sidewalk, but Scream gets the trade onto him. Seized, has to hit that shot against Shox, puts him low, sure, under 12 HP, but he still has to be found, and he gets back around the corner before Edward can get in position to do so, as he continues to try and fully commit forward in the bomb site. Good pick from Guardian. That'll give his teammate Edward, we just mentioned, more room to work with, as both of the remaining G2 players are up waiting for the post-plant peaks, but no kid. It's a 10-second defuse. Guardian gets Shox, though, and the win from Simple. That's it. Takes down Smith, so he'll be able to hold the defuse all the way through, does Edward.
Yeah, G2, difficult situation for them. It's a 3-on-2. They don't really have anyone facing at all. They're playing defensively, and that full defuse comes and it forces them to face. And NaVi just waiting for them, mow them down as they come from lower ramp and upper. But 14-6 now. Money still is available for G2, but double AWP setup coming in. So this is when they can actually do the default, work the picks, and see whether they can actually find that first kill. Jumping around the weapons in spawn right now. It's going to be Body and Shox. Oh, surely Smith's going to get it. There it is, yep. He gets the AWP, and you can see it's an AK. Scream on the Gillo, Body just on that Tech 9. He has not had a fantastic series today. He's currently on 5 for 17.
Good news is he hasn't been picked 3 doors on this map yet.
Not yet, no. I'm sure he's coming.
It's where he's working on it. Shox certainly is. RPK falls as well. Guardian double kill. He's played excellent tonight, I have to say.
Yeah, really.
Guardian has looked top form this evening.
Absolutely, I agree. 5-on-3 as quick as that, and it looks like, oh God, be careful, Scream. Flamey going into the hunt as well, so he can probably give a nice call off to Guardian if he goes on the corner and doesn't find anyone. Smith towards main entrance, and Body is to arrive. Pop Dog, and he's only got that Tech 9 in hand. This is a horrible situation, but Smiths finds something. That
actually works out well because they were spending so much time trying to flash through Ivy. Smiths was able to walk into A main undetected, having Flamey go out that direction, so he catches them trying to shuffle. They got the information. We saw Flamey go out. We saw him see no one, so he calls back to rotate and watch the front of the site. Instead, Smith's already there. Timing is everything. Molotov goes down, though. That'll keep him limited to this A main confines, and Bomb to his left is still in T-spawn. So even though they get this equalizing kill, 44 seconds, they don't have the ability to rush onto the B site. They have forced a bit of a rotation, though, that's for sure. And Smith's good shot. Simple goes down. They've pulled this back.
It was a 5-on-3, and all of a sudden, it's Smiths and Scream with his double AWP. Setup has actually found the man advantage. All of a sudden, it's turned in favor of G2. 25 seconds remaining. This will be their final play. Edwards on the bomb site, waiting for them. If he can get 1 kill and just slow down the bomb, that could actually bring the advantage back in his favor, as he does face a difficult situation. Scream lands yet another shot here. So since those first 2 Guardian kills, nothing's come out of it. So G2 dodge a bullet here. That could have been match point for NaVi, and I think this will be another eco as well. So very decent work from them. Good recovery. A horrible situation to be in after you lose those first 2 kills to actually get back into it in a 5-on-3. I'm gonna sneeze, Matt. Hold on.
Sneeze. Goes inside. Bless you. Look into the light.
No, I've lost it. That's
disappointing.
The worst feeling in the world, right?
Yeah, it's disappointing. That 1/8 of the orgasm you didn't get to have.
Oh, I'll get it.
Guardian. USB hand. Scream. He's going to walk up and just take him down on top of the site. So the money limited for NaVi and try and play a passive angle with these pistols, stack up onto the B site. It doesn't work out. They've already walked in and
Stabbing him, right-click, stabbing him
simple
back.
is the problem. Welcome to the team, bud. As they try and jump up over. Do it again. Look at he's following him. He's like, I want to do it.
That's so much damage. Oh my god. Well then,
What would be great is Edward just goes ahead of Simple. Simple's just like, here you go, have it back.
have it back.
Either way, bomb down. It's going to be G2 picking up their 8th round. So it'll be 14-8 NaVi. Again, they don't have to really force this issue too much. They can afford, again, this eco. They got some room to breathe. So they're playing the long game in this.
The long game indeed, and they're going to be saving the body armor and head armor, of course. Simple, I guess that's worth to say, they'll be buying next round. So that saves $1,000 for him at least, and he's got a Desert Eagle as well. So then, G2 now stringing some rounds together. It's going to be 14-8 is the current scoreline here. As we see what unfolds in round number 8. You just feel like when NaVi get to that match point, though, a lot of pressure is relieved at that point, and actually, what we forced it. The money's not as strong as I thought it was, so it's just going to be another partial buy going into this one. So 3K left over. There will be a third stage loss bonus after this one, so that's when the buy will come back in. Like I said, when you have these kind of advantages, there's no real reason to keep forcing into it. You'll just find yourself in that kind of economic rut. They've got those 4 HEs once again. That's that one. Just going to hope they're going to use them together.
Yeah, the nade, the airstrike,
Yeah.
nade stack. It's lovely when you see those work, by the way. It's like so satisfying as well when you're on the team that throws them and you just see the obituary get littered with bodies. Pretty cool. He's into hell. He'll cover off the corner, play a crossfire angle right now with Simple, who has a deagle and armor trying to play from long range. He's not the only one who's gone for armor and a pistol. Flamey's got a 5.7. And Edward's got a CZ75. Crossfire now with Guardian instead as they rotated that deagle away, but they only get 1 kill, and it's not even from that crossfire. They both go down in G2. They've just walked into the site. It's Simple, the last alive, and RPK finds him quite quickly.
49 closing the gap slowly but surely. And we'll see what round number 9 brings. It's going to be that double orb setup once again for G2. Got them back into the round before and they're a 5-on-3 disadvantage. But similar scenes for NaVi as well. We'll be guarding the Cs. We kind of speculated before. We were interested to see what we're going to see from the CT side. But guarding the Cs, I'll have a look at the setups as well. I like this. This is my favorite setup, man. You know I talk about this a lot. The Cs by himself with the orb towards inside, orb towards upper. Means you're really good for 1 kill and falling back. It's quite a safe position, but at the same time,
That's
if you do get set up, this is actually a good counter from NaVi. There is a gap. And Shocks, maybe about to walk into it. Oh,
what's your graphic setting? Because that gap, okay, it's good enough for C's. That's a pretty tight one, but he does nail it, gets away as well, falls inside the site. No one's gone down the ramp quickly, so he doesn't get caught on the retreat, and he'll walk away.
Thing is now, G2 have no map awareness as to what's going on. They've got 4 players now fully committed to inside. They have to act fast. They don't know what's coming behind them. So C's, if you can get 1 more kill, it's perfect. It's that same execution we saw, the double Molotovs. And he's not going to be facing this just yet. And that's to his downfall because RPK actually takes his head off in his apprehension there. So still a 4-on-4 bomb planted. And the retake is on for NaVi.
Flamey flashed up as soon as he wants to speak down the tanker. Smokes out on that alleyway as well. RPK. He's getting closer, but he still has to go through smoke. He just wants to hold this. He's got the lineup on Flamey. He's going to go through late. He's going to push him with no flashes, but he catches them with the reload. 1 down already. It's Guardian low on HP. He's found that. Swings it over, but Simple. He'll respond with 1. It's 1 versus 2. AWP in the hands of Smith. RPK with 3 kills. That's more than enough to allow this round to end, because even though he gets that single kill, does Simple, the bomb, ticking too quickly.
Yeah, RPK with the godlike play there. Waiting for that smoke and he's hearing the CT spray that bullets through. As soon as he knows they're reloading in, he pushes through, finds that first kill, and then he's guarding the platform. He only got the orb as well, trying to desperately work out where he was. And he takes down both kills, and that's the round secured, and G2 hit double figures. We said, even though these big scorelines come in with these top teams, you never really know what's going to unfold. It's definitely a hard game to close out. And it's going to be the orb saved into round number 10 here. Simple does have the weapon, and we'll see what he can do with the orb. You've been waiting for him, Matt. I know.
I have. You're dead right. It's the first time he picks it up. He picks it up when there's pistols in hand as well. You have to wonder. Simple making simple calls. And Simple falls off the train. No lineup toward A main, and the bomb goes toward B, where we will see Flamey And Seized waiting inside of the site. Flamey smoked off at the lower sidewalk. He's going to have to watch upper now and let them walk in. Seized behind the spools. Usually good for a one-and-done position, but it is the pistol. What a shot from Flamey as he takes them down. They're going to fall into the clutches of Seized. And NaVi, they pulled this back. Simple's rotated over. AWP picks up 2 kills. We waited for it, Henry. You said you were waiting for it. And it's going to be 2 kills onto him. It's on to Body, and it could be map point for NaVi. They've certainly made a contest out of G2. You have to give them credit once they got the momentum. Not winning the pistol, though, it was a little bit too late, you could argue, as it's going to be 15 rounds now for NaVi.
Yep, 5 in a row required for G2 just to force overtime here. It's up to Body. Like I said before, he's had a really rough time in this series so far, but he does find that first kill. Time ticking away, 45 seconds. He has got a headshot towards. What is this? Flamey, what are you playing at? They've got the bomb inside. He's running up lower ramp, and they know he's there. Okay, well, if he wins this now, I think that's going to be the reason. But here we go. Smoke goes down. Flashbang comes in as well. It's actually looking pretty decent for Body here. Gets the 3rd out of 4 as well. Could this be the player we've been waiting for? It's been quiet from him all night, but if he gets this, it's going to be so tremendous for his team. One player to find, and he gets it as well. Body stepping up just when it's needed and avoids a match point for NaVi, and you feel like that's just NaVi throwing that round away.
Well, we often say that should be the round, or it's going to be 15-11, as I said in that case. That just highlights how unlikely that play was. That's incredible that he pulls it back. And G2, they get thrown a lifeline. NaVi's got money to buy back into this, but the money, it's very low. And if G2 pick up this, they go 12 and then potentially 13 against what would be an eco.
That's a little bit shocking, I have to say. That's the round that gets you to match point, and you're just running up lower ramp with your knife out and is hoping to close things out. You had the bomb there. It's not like you needed information. Like I said, if they lose that round, it's down to Flamey. And I think he'll be feeling a little bit silly after that one.
Well, speaking of him, he's going to go silly with an auto sniper, a complementary to these 2 AWPs. It's Seized and Guardian, and Flamey with the scoped weaponry. So again, Simple sticking to the M4. He's going to try and get up on top of the blue train, have a better line of sight in toward A main. They've got the man advantage already. Shock's down quite early on in this, and he'll check every possibility, Simple, because he doesn't need to get caught off. He does not need to allow them to equalize this on 4s. Silent as ever, and you can see, okay, we just saw it. That's the first time I've noticed it. The X-ray changing for the audible noise. It doesn't seem to be 100% like when the noise is on or off. It seems to kind of linger for a moment. I'm not sure if they still need to tweak it a bit, but mentioned in the patch notes, we had to bring it up. Good shot through. Flamey with the auto sniper does find 1. Damage as well. Gets the 2nd. It's screamed down. Body walks back in. The hero of last round and needs to try and go large again. And Guardian, he gets Smith's back. It's on in the same situation.
But this time they've got 3 sniper rifles, to be fair. I'm sure they won't make the same mistake again, but apparently it's happening.
Does he spot him? He does. Oh my goodness, he's got down 2 already. He spots the 3rd at long, but it's going to be Flamey. The man who went down last time, the auto sniper, just enough to give them 15 rounds.
Oh, it was close. They gave him 2 kills once again. They could see the bomb. Everyone having a face, but they managed to avoid danger this time. 15-11. Now 4 in a row required from G2. The pressure firmly applied to them. We'll keep the auto sniper up for round over 12, and no Orbs actually surviving, so that's actually pretty good. The Body even got those 2 kills. He has damaged the economic situation of NaVi, that's for sure. Now going to play 2 players towards inside. One of those going to be Flamey, very close to that auto sniper as well. I'm sure that grenade made it in. Just about missed, but it's going to be G2 just crossing over as well, and RPK could cause some trouble here as he's edging down towards the lower ramp.
Edward going to watch this with Seized. Flamey here with the auto sniper as well. Smith's, he's grouped with the rest of his team. They are in the B tunnels. They'll look for the default through the lovely new addition of this window. It is lovely, isn't it, Henry?
It's very lovely, if you don't want to say.
Well, it does add a dynamic. As you can see how many smokes and flashes are able to be deployed inside of the B site at Train. I'd love to see something additional like that on Dust 2 with the skybox at B so you could get more into the site before you go. But Smiths, according to the obituary in the top corner, has just killed Edward and saved his teammate in doing so, according to Ebot. But that's not going to matter when the auto sniper's still in play. Flamey picks up 2. Smiths finally silencing him. Nearly hits the 2nd shot, but it's a 2 versus 2 now. As Smith does get Simple climbing on the ladder. His movement mechanics quite swift, but not swift enough to silence NaVi as they'll pick up round number 16. And once more, it is 16-11, almost 16-12. I was going to say once more, but 1 round the difference this time.
Yeah.
Either way, 2-0 for NaVi.
An 11-4 start there on the CT half of Train. It's always going to be difficult to come back from. G2 made a very convincing case of it. That great clutch from Body and some decent teamwork as well. It was enough to give us a decent game, but not enough to give them a win. NaVi going up 2-0 with their debut game for Simple as well. Pretty impressive stuff. Great start to the season for them. And looking forward to see what they bring to the table with this lineup.
Yeah, me as well. And Simple was a little bit more... Look, I think he finished 2nd highest in frags total on Dust 2, which I thought was a little bit... perhaps overstating because he did have the impact, but in this game we could certainly see that he was more involved, was getting a lot more early picks for them. So with that said, NaVi, they start the season 2-0 on their debut with Simple. G2, not quite the same fate for them. We'll throw it back over to the desk. We still have 2 more best of 2, well, 4 more games, 2 more double headers, I should say, coming up.
Yes, we do. That's right. Thanks very much.
What Matt said right there.
Exactly what Matt said. He's right. We do have Team X and Astralis coming up next, the Danish duo. It'll be fun to see them kind of battle it out. But first, we have to put the closing touches on our first set of games, where we do see NaVi pick it up a bit. Admittedly, Body tried to take it a little further than it could have. My God. Okay, so again, it's hard to dissect. Let's kind of focus a little bit on that first half, where we saw NaVi just run away with it. You said it, Yanko, one of the best T-sides on train.
Just quickly, Alex, when someone asks, what do you mean by players being rusty? It's only been 2 weeks or something. I'm just going to show them that 1v4 attempted from Body. It was more like 4v1 from NaVi, shooting themselves in the foot pretty much.
Right.
Some decisions there were rather questionable, especially the one from Flamey. So I think we saw, not to that extent, but there were a lot of small situations like that. And yeah, 2 maps, G2 doesn't win a single pistol round. So, I mean, they had to fight from the beginning. It was an uphill battle.
Yeah, and for me, of course, you look at it from, as you said, the first half's perspective. The fact is that NaVi will always have that really strong backbone of having a good T side. So it felt that them coming into this, they were always going to be robust enough to just kind of grind through the rest of it. You saw the flaws and then some on their CT side, and it was just discipline. It was the fact of, playing these kind of incredibly strange ways of going about things, whether it be a 2-on-4. It got so costly so many times that if they didn't have that incredible T side to kind of create this, I guess, rather favourable scoreline at the start, that could actually been a marginally closer game there, but still, you've got to feel that NaVi just kept it together long enough on their T side.
Just kind of kept it together. Is that really the... I mean 11-4.
In comparison to what they were doing on the CT side, giving up, like 1v4s.
And also in the first half, it seemed that whatever NaVi wanted to do, it went their way pretty much. They would get the entry kills early on onto the bomb site, and the round was pretty much over after that. They would have a 5v3 after plant. We didn't see a lot of clutch situations, so to speak. And you could see that, it was towards that B bomb site where it was Smiths or someone who was just getting picked off pretty much initially, and you can't really come back from that in the round. So tough luck for G2 early on.
Edward was whiffing quite a few shots as well, just while he's on screen.
We saw that on Dust too, but even coming back to that, how they're entering onto the B side, actually Simple to me actually provided a really good amount of power towards it. He was actually punishing G2 anytime they tried to play close-ish towards ramp or towards upper, forcing them to sit way further back, and then still the punish came through. So again, it looked like G2 tried to come up with a way of just not being ground down by Simple, but the guy was hitting shots. He was on point quite substantially. So again, I kind of feel bad for G2. There's some situations there where they could have probably exploited it more, but still NaVi were pretty much robust by the time they came into the second half of that scoreline.
Yeah, and it does mean that NaVi do get that start they wanted for the ESL Pro League. Of course, the 4th season, and they do start 2-0, quite the opposite for G2, unable to make anything happen in their first debut day. And talking of debuts, Simple performing up to snuff. We'll be seeing much more from him as NaVi continue to expand throughout the Pro League. But for now, we do take ourselves a quick break. If you want to understand exactly how that map played out, do be sure to head over to the Score Esports application on your smartphone. It's actually got a fantastic article there I was reading earlier. It's got a preview of that hot match to understand exactly why we haven't seen these two teams play each other that much. In fact, the season 3 of this very league was when they last did battle, and now NaVi do retain that. 2-0 for them, and we'll be back with the Danish affair, Team X versus Astralis, after a quick break. See you then.